Russia's top diplomat says, quote, liberating the Donetsk and Luhansk regions is his country's unconditional priority. Sergei Lavrov made the comments in an interview on French television. Lavrov reiterated that the goal of Russia's military operation in Ukraine is to demilitarize its neighbor after waves of NATO's eastward expansion. He also said Western sanctions on Russia were planned long before the conflict with Ukraine started and probably won't be lifted. Meanwhile, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy has made a surprise trip to Kharkiv. Philip Crowther has our top story.
Well, it was an extraordinary visit from Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy simply because of how dangerous it was. The city of Kharkiv, Ukraine's second largest city, is very close to the Russian border. And until just a few weeks ago, it was in danger of being seized by Russian forces, or at the very least, being fought over with the Ukrainian military. The Russian forces have been pushed back, not all the way into Russia, but a relatively long way away from the city. Indeed, Kharkiv is trying to get back to normal, but it is still suffering artillery attacks. And indeed, after Zelenskyy's visit, there were the sounds of explosions in the city, again witnessed by AP reporters on the ground. He also visited the Ukrainian troops, who are right there on one of the many front lines in Ukraine. Zelenskyy, during his visit, was also told by the regional governor that in the region of Kharkiv, around that second largest city in Ukraine, there is still 30% of that territory in Russian hands. Now, in the meantime, not too far away from there, in the Donbass region, we are seeing not exactly a clear picture as to who controls what right now. The city of Severodonetsk is key here. Clearly, the Russian military is throwing a lot of manpower, a lot of firepower at that one city, but is still not managing to get it under its control. The Ukrainian military tells us that there is an attempt to take it by Russian forces, but that has not been successful so far. In the meantime, there have also been other attacks on cities outside of the Donbass region, some of them airstrikes, and this is a reminder that the Russian forces, that Moscow is still going to hit infrastructure and still going to hit supply lines for the Ukrainian army. Philip Crowther, Associated Press for CGTN in Lviv, Ukraine.
NATO's Deputy Secretary General says the alliance is no longer bound by past commitments to hold back from deploying its forces in Eastern Europe. Mircea Joanna told AFP that Moscow has voided of any content the NATO-Russia Founding Act by attacking Ukraine and halting dialogue with the alliance. Under the 1997 Act, the two sides agreed to prevent potentially threatening build-up of forces in certain regions of Europe. Joanna says Russia has moved away from the terms of the Act, and so NATO is no longer restricted in efforts to ensure its territory is protected by Article 5, which says that an attack on one member is an attack on all. Joanna did not give details of any such planned deployment, but said that he anticipated a robust, flexible and sustainable presence.